there is. I have actually read about this, and you have the photographs. It is almost a 3 billion-year-old metal balls that they have found. They have found a lot of these.
Oh yeah.
What have they said on what they've discovered when they've looked at those?
Well, they really don't know. These things are just made out of an incredibly hard substance. They don't know where they came from. They're an absolute mystery. They found these things in mines in Africa. They've been coal mines and stuff like that. And these things, because of the distance down in the mines they found them, they've estimated them to be 3.8 billion years old. I think that's just... I don't know how they could possibly be that old, but that's what they say they are. Because they're found in sedimentary rock, like way down in Africa. I believe that there's an Egyptian connection to those spheres, actually, which I mention later in the book. But they're absolutely incredible. One of them is a guy was playing with one day, and he decided to see how well balanced it was. So he took it to NASA, and it actually exceeded the limits of the Space Institute's current measuring technology when they tried to see the balance of this thing, which isn't very badly balanced at all. So it actually exceeded their limits. And these are the people who make the stuff for NASA. They make the gyro compasses and all the space stuff for NASA. And they couldn't measure this thing. It was beyond their capabilities. So that's pretty amazing.
Yes, and these are what, a couple inches in size, maybe?
Yeah, they vary in size. They vary from about 3 inches to about 6 inches. And they've got parallel lines running around them, many of them, perfectly parallel. And they're perfectly balanced, and they come out of this sedimentary rock. And it's quite amazing. There's ancient Sumerian stories of these devices that used to be carried around by the rulers that were called MEs. There were small devices that were very similar to a modern CD that contained vast amounts of information on them. And I have a sneaking suspicion that that's what these stones are, because there were certain Egyptian rulers who were known as gods, who really weren't gods, of course, but certain rulers that did mining operations in Africa. And because of who those particular people were, and I believe that that's where these stones came from. I believe that they are the MEs mentioned in Sumerian text. But I still have to prove that, but I'm working on that one.
Yeah, I would like to get that concept from you. When I read about it here a few years ago, I didn't see the photographs, so I had to kind of gather it in my mind, and I kind of shot out a theory at that time that perhaps they were launched 3-4 billion years ago from another planet. And they just, once they hit our atmosphere, penetrated down through the rock layers. That was my theory, but I'm sure open to anything else, because you can't explain it using traditional methods. Hey, Max, we've got a couple minutes left. Do you have anything else that you would especially like to talk about regarding this incredible book of yours?
Well, not really, mate. It's just I've put it there so people can understand that the history they've been taught is wrong. It's all wrong. It's completely wrong, and it can be utterly disproven, absolutely disproven. Really, people need to understand this. They really need to look at history, because I believe that there's an important lesson to be learned from history. I mean, a lot of people might think, why should we really care? What's all the fuss about? The past is just the past. But such may not always be the case. I believe the past may also be a very good indication of the future. And notwithstanding the fact that it would just be awfully nice to know the truth, there are many scholars who believe that there are certain routine events that occur on Earth that concern both mankind and the planet we live on very, very significantly. And many believe them to be events that are a normal part of our solar system's rotational mechanism, and that they happen in regular and predictable orbital cycles. And there's evidence that the people of the ancient past possess some very, very detailed knowledge concerning these events. Many of them base their entire cultures, sciences, and religions on these events. Their entire civilizations were based on these events and tracking these events, and I think that's very, very significant. And I think that we can learn a lot about ourselves and about our future from studying what really happened in the past. I think it's disgraceful that this information has been hidden from the populace.
Well, it's not hidden any longer. Check out thecrowhouse.com and it's waiting for you right there. Again, truth is on our side if we just open the door. Thank you for being with us once again, Max Igan. Everybody,
always my
good
pleasure,
night.
John.
Thank you. Good night.